Hi everyone, this is Tina Create the Heart, and today I'm going to make some Valentine's Day cards using products from the Not Too Shabby shop. I'm going to be using the Lattes of Love paper, as well as the ephemera. I think I don't use that. And my favorite Whimsy Stamps Slimline die. I am also using the stamp set called, I think I show it at the end, it's called Love for Lattes. So because my paper is 6x6 and my slimline card is longer than that, I had to kind of piece together the paper to make it big enough, long enough for my slimline card, which is 8.5 by I think 3.5. So I just cut the top part of the die, and then I cut the bottom part, and then I pieced it together. And then I'm just kind of making sure that my paper, matching up my paper for underneath the shaker, because we are going to be making a shaker. And so that paper, of course, is, I have to piece it together because it's 6x6 and I need it to be 8.5 inches long. So once I kind of have that down, I'm going to use my Barely Arts glue to go ahead and place the background paper right there on my card base. And then I'm going to work on my top piece, which is going to be my piece with the window that I'm going to be able to place all of my little goodies that are going to shake. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use some score tape all around to stick my acetate down. I prefer to use tape for acetate because it's just way too slippery and the glue just gets everywhere when I try to glue it. And this, if I can use tape, then I will. This is a small tape. It's I think it's 1/8 of an inch score tape. And then I place my acetate right over that, and then trim any excess. So if you have any acetate, because it's kind of an awkward size, if you have any acetate that's kind of hanging out, then you just go ahead and you just trim it. And then I had bought some foam tape from Amazon, and it was very, very cheap. It was like 12 bucks, and I got a ton of tape. The only problem is it's very flat. So in order to get enough lift for my shaker, I'm going to have to double up. So that means I'm going to go ahead and place some tape down, and then I'm going to have to take the liner off and then put more tape on top of it, just so that it is tall enough for my items to shake. So I didn't realize that it was so flat. This was recommended to me from someone on a design team. And so I like the cheapness, and I like the, I think it's 1/8 of an inch, so it's great for getting around tight corners. I just think it's a little flat, so you have to kind of build it up, which is totally fine. So you can see that I'm doing that, and while I'm doing it, I'm kind of making sure that all my pieces are together, like they're meeting at the different places, to make sure that my shaker bits stay where they're supposed to be. So I'm kind of doing that because I did find one spot where they weren't meeting up real well. So I went ahead and I made an adjustment for that, and kind of working on that. So so that was a little disappointing. I think these would be perfect if they were thicker, if that makes sense. They are very, very flat. I don't know, maybe 1/8 of an inch, maybe. They're pretty, it's pretty thin. So I am a little disappointed, but they still worked really well for this project. And I'm going to go ahead and just place my shaker bits. And because I don't know, I decided to do it a little different way. I'm kind of finagled all around, and I decided to go ahead and put the card base over my shakered pieces there. So it worked out. It was a gamble, but I took the gamble and it was fine. So I'm taking all of that, and then you can see this is the spot that I discovered that wasn't quite meeting, and my shaker bits might get all stuck there. So I went ahead and put some extra foam tape there, and so that my sugar bits won't be all over the place. All right, so this is a gamble. But it's okay because the paper that I used is non-directional anyway, so it's not a worrisome thing too much. I kind of just guesstimated and it worked out. Very happy to say it worked out. So all of my little latte cups I did color with Copics and I did a little bit of stickles, and I really like how it came out. I think they came out very cute. And then I've got them all in foam tape, and so I'm just putting them there. And I also have this Love ephemera, and that actually is from the ephemera pack. And I'm actually gluing that flat. I thought maybe at the bottom, but it's really not a good place for it, so I ended up putting it on top. Now, I had some pieces left for making this project, and I went ahead and decided to make a couple slimline cards. So I think my slimline cards measure, I want to say that they measure 3 by 6. And so basically, I think I did it at 6 by 6, and then I scored at 3. So I had these pieces kind of left over from these other projects, this shaker project, and so I kind of used some of these leftover pieces, but this time I decided to use the ephemera to decorate it. And so I used those leftover pieces that were cut from that Whimsy die, and I've got my cup from the ephemera piece, as well as another one of those Love ephemera pieces, and I've got them all on foam. And what I did with the heart is I trimmed the white piece around the heart. And then my second card is just going in a different orientation. So I put that piece down again. It's 6 by 6 and scored at 3. So you're left with a 3 by 6 mini slimline. And then I had this red piece left over from another project, and it just worked perfectly here for the ephemera that I wanted to use. Kind of gave it a little something for my ephemera piece to kind of sit on and ground it. And I'm using this ephemera piece that is sort of the long latte cups. And then I used another piece of that Love ephemera, as well as a couple of hearts. Thank you so much for watching. This is Cindy with Creating with a Heart.